Hey, guess what?
What?
I finally got my hair done like Billie Eilish.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you've been talking about that.
Yeah, so now when I go see her in concert, everyone will be like, oh my god, is that Billie Eilish? And I'll be like, no, but thank you.
Well, I think they can tell the difference now that she's blonde and everything.
What?
Yeah, no, she's blonde now. It still looks really good.
Billie Eilish's second album, Happier Than Ever, has been out for 3 weeks now, I think. 2 or 3. I've listened to it so much. It's more grown up. It's more personal. It's better produced. It's definitely showing how much Billie has grown since her last album. It's a lot less fun than the last album. It's a lot more melancholy. This album has a common focus in a lot of the songs, to where it talks about her experiences and what she's noticed and learned from her fame. There's a lot of focus on public opinion, on social media, on how people view her now that she's been in the spotlight for so long. It's just a good look into her world. It's very, very personal. Billie's last album was huge. I don't know how many Grammys she won. It was like 6. It's just insane how big she got. There's a lot of pressure on this album, of course. I absolutely love the feel of this album. That melancholy sound that just begins immediately with Getting Older. That the way that song starts, it's just like, all right, here we go. This is me now. This is how I've changed since the last album. And I love it. And it's a great beginning to the album because it really just shows you this is what this is going to be about. I Didn't Change My Number is a freaking great breakup song. Oh, it's a great perspective to have in a breakup. I love it. I love that song. Billie Bossa Nova it's probably my favorite song off of this album. I adore that song. It's one of those songs, every time it comes on, I am snapping my fingers and I am tapping on whatever I can. I have multiple times just brought out some drumsticks and just tapped away with it because it's so satisfying. It is probably the most unique song on this album and maybe in her discography so far. It is so fun and just jazzy, and I love bossa nova. I do. I loved playing bossa nova when I was in jazz band. My future is so good. So many people are just going to fall in love with that song. Really. The lyrics, the focus, the general idea of that song is amazing. I love it. God, it's showing how good of a writer Billie really is. Man, it's good. I am a sucker for songs that focus on self-improvement and more positivity on yourself, and that song is just such a great example of it. Oxytocin is, man, it's just sexy, and I love it. When I hear it, I imagine it being in a movie, in either like a club scene or probably a sex scene. Oh, it's such a good song. I could easily see it being one of the bigger songs off of this album. Oh man, it's so good. I'll be sitting there listening to it and I'm like, ooh, should I be liking this as much as I am? Goldwing, it's got a really interesting start with the more angelic, churchy choir sound. But then it brings in that beat, and oh my gosh, the beat of this song specifically, out of every song on this album, that rhythm just makes my it makes my drummer heart happy. It is so satisfying. And every time it comes on, I'm like, oh, ooh. It touches me in ways that I didn't know a song could. I love the concept of just taking that one little bit of that singing section of them saying Goldwing and just building a rhythm around it. It sounds exactly like what I would do if someone just gave me a really nice drum machine and was like, have fun. It is pure rhythmic bliss. Lost Cause is just freaking catchy. It really is. It's probably going to be one of the bigger songs off of this album. I have a feeling. I've had multiple people tell me that it is their favorite song off of the album. It's not my favorite, but it's good. Haley's Comet is beautiful. I think it's the prettiest song on this album. Also, I don't know if this is on purpose, but the closing of that song is really similar to La La Land. I haven't been able to find any evidence that it's actually connected in any way, but man, it's really similar. Not My Responsibility, ballsy song and so cool. I love that she just, blatantly came out and was like, I don't care about your opinion about me. That is one of those things that makes Billie as awesome as she is. I love the sneaky music in the beginning and during certain parts of NDA. That's a really nice touch because it's kind of what the song's about. It has that, like, you're in a spy movie and trying to sneak around kind of sound. Such a nice touch. So there's two really good transitions in this album. Not My Responsibility to Overheated. Overheated is basically just Not My Responsibility, but turned into a beat, but it transitions really well. And then NDA to Therefore I Am. Also, really good transition. I love that touch. Happier Than Ever, definitely going to be the big song off of this album, title track. It's really good. It's bringing out that pop punk sound that's really coming back. I love the guitar on it. I love the beginning. I understand the sound they were going for, but I really don't like the mixing on this song. I think it's a really good song, but I don't like how equal the background vocals are with her vocals. I really wish they would have made her vocals come out more. And honestly, they could have gotten rid of the background vocals for me. It's just a really popular sound right now where you have really strong harmonies in the background. My favorite version of Happier Than Ever, the live version that she did for Jimmy Fallon, is so much better. It is 10 times better than the normal version because the guitar is heavier, the drums are heavier, and it's more of just focusing on her voice and not so much of the background, and it really makes it feel more rocky. I did not expect to headbang at all during this album, but listening to the live version of that song, Male Fantasy, God, it's gorgeous. It is a beautiful, beautiful song. Painfully so. It does a good job of closing the melancholy feel of the album. As an album, it has a really good a good cohesive feel through the entire thing. I really like it. There's not too much of the same sounds throughout it. It's pretty unique in a lot of the songs. I really enjoy this. I really do. It really does do a good job of showing how much she's grown in her talent and just as a person since the last album. So if you listen to this on Spotify, there's multiple versions. There's the regular, and then there's a version called Lyric Mode, and it's such a good idea. So basically it's the song, and then it'll have a little snippet of her talking about the song, and then it'll play the next. And it's so cool because it really shows her personality in between each one. It shows where she's coming from on each song, and it's one of those things that shows why people love Billie, because she's so personable. She's just so cool. I want to hang out with her. I want to hang out with Billie. Let's go get coffee. I just want to talk music. It blows my mind that she is writing these songs when she's 17 and 18. Like, that girl is so talented. Oh my gosh. I really hope she doesn't get ruined, and I don't think she will. This album really shows how she is guarding herself from fame. She's protecting herself from letting it change her too much, but also she's learning from it. She is so damn talented. I love it. So this album, and it blows my mind, it sold 73,000 copies on vinyl in the first week. And it sold 46,000 copies on CD. So we've already hit the point where we're selling more vinyl than we are CD, which is awesome. I remember the days of being the weird kid listening to vinyl. I think when we look back at this era, it's one of the album covers that will pop up, that we'll refer to. She is going to go on to be one of those people that when we look back at this era of music and potentially even more eras, she's one of the people we will always think of. I kept hearing about her in her early days, and I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna get into it. And then I listened to that first album, and I was blown away. And this album, I like it more. It is lower, it's darker. I think it's more genuine, and I think it's a good, better album. Great album. I've listened to it so many times already, and I haven't really gotten tired of it yet. There are some really, really good songs on this. Like I said, I think Billy Bossa Nova is my favorite. I really like Oxytocin. Goldwing, of course. Haley's Comet is so, so good. This album is great. It's great. Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. Thumbs up from me, for sure.